in, everyone, to episode 203 of the HurricaneKaz podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. I'm joined by the two that weren't here last week, but Tristan's out. So, we're just swapping, It's like,
we're just trading places.
Yeah. The delay, okay, so here's the thing, right? Obviously, Tristan has a delay at times, right? And, most times he says, but I thought that between me and him, if it's just the two of us, it'd be easier. Right? I was like, oh, like he hears me, I hear him and stuff. I don't know why, but it felt harder. It felt really hard for some reason. I'm not sure what it was, And and then because I listened back to our episode, because I remember I was like, there's a lot of confusion on the new championship series play Pokemon rule set, and I was listening. I was like, where was the confusion at? And I remember I listened back, and at one point I almost fully understood what was happening, and then I said at one point, so it's like, it's just GBL changes, right? That what I meant to say is like, oh, it's just GBL updates that are the exception, right? And he said no. But I think he misunderstood what I meant when I said that, or he was answering no to a different question. I don't know. So then when he said no, I got super confused. I was just like, oh, so like new Pokemon then can be used right away? But I knew Shadow Malmar couldn't, but I was like, so maybe like if a Zero Guy Community move, then you can use it. I got super confused.
Yeah, I listened to it back, and it was like, so for a while, it was like Tristan educating you. Like you clearly were, missing some info, and it was like, okay, cool,
I'm not going to pretend like I've read the rule book or anything. I just keep tweeting about it, but I did not. I figured I was like, Tristan seems to have read it. He'll explain on the podcast.
Yeah. So he was filling you in, and then they'll just hit a point where all of a sudden you were no longer on the same. You had identical information. You were both on the exact same page, and then you just diverged and didn't believe that the other one knew what they were talking about anymore, and it was just it was chaos for a good 3 minutes. And I was just sitting there like, oh, we really needed me or Kaz to be there.
Also, I was talking about, I was like, oh, the 2-week ban on new shadows, new Pokemon. I was like, that kind of works. I don't really care too much for that, but it kind of works in my favor for Portland, right? Because I don't want to have to grind Shadow Malamar stuff and Shadow Inkay during this event. Because admittedly, I didn't play the event enough. I was waiting for the last night, right? Last night, traffic died down. I was just going to drive to Pokestop, obviously park my car, not drive, I'll play, and then do these rockets and try to grind out a good Shadow Inkay. Because the first Shadow Inkay I caught, it was like a rank 59. I was like, what the heck? I was like, this is pretty good. But it powered up to 1488 CP. I was like, it's a little awkward, right? I was like, I'll try. I could probably go for a better one, but I do have this just in case. I also need to upgrade my Shadow Primeape. And then I try to leave for out of my parking garage, and my key fob wouldn't work. I was so heated, right? I was like, dude, I only got a few hours left, right? Let me just play this freaking event. And I'm on the intercom with the people trying to help, right? I call customer service. 3 different people answer, right? Every one of them is like, oh, stay on the line. We're going to send a manager. ETA is about 2 to 3 minutes, right? Tell me how I'm sitting in this parking lot in front of this parking gate for 40 plus minutes. No one shows up. 3 different people, right? One person trying to manually open the gate. Didn't work. A third person I called said, oh, let me try to open the gate. But it's not working. I'm like, girl, I can hear the wind outside, right? You're literally taking this customer service call on a cell phone outside or something. I don't know why, right? But I could literally hear the wind come. She's like, oh, give me a few minutes. I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I'm literally sitting there on Yelp giving this garage a 1-star review. It's my complex's garage too, but they serve the public as well. But I get in with key fob.
Those apartment garages, they're notoriously bad. I have issues all the time, because that's part of what I do for work is go to different apartment complexes and they're so miserable. And half the time the intercom, you're lucky the intercom was even working.
Oh no, it didn't work. So I had to call the number on the sign because they're like, oh, press the assistant.
I was gonna say those intercoms never work.
Yeah. They're like, well, we can't open the gate unless you press the assistant intercom. I was like, there's 2 buttons for assistants. I press them both, nothing happens. I was like, I've been pressing them for the past 40 minutes. What do you think I've been doing, right?
And I've just been sitting here.
Yeah, I literally was just sitting there in the car listening back to last episode's podcast and listening to me and Tristan being confused while waiting on being on hold, right? They put me on hold and all 3 of them would hang up eventually. And I go on Yelp. I try to give this a 1-star review. Of course, the average star review is already a 1 star, so that's not helping anything. They clearly don't care, right?
Listen, nobody ever reviews parking garages positively.
Joe's Auto Parks, I despise your customer service. Let's just put it that way, right? I'm just throwing out there. It's Joe's Auto Parks. Anyway, they have a bunch of locations all over the place, and they're all pretty bad ratings. So I couldn't grind it. I go to evolve my Inkay last night because I was like, I was going to just use Shadow Malmar and go Battle League today and just like give it a shot and see how it goes because we couldn't use it in Retro Cup. And then I powers up to 1496. I was like, I thought this goes to 1488. I praise it again and check. It is not a rank 59. It's even better.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, dude, my one Shadow Inkay, the first one I encountered, that could have been what I went to use at Portland. But, you know, of course the rules apply, so I can't use it in Portland. But I did luck out, though. I mean, for GBL purposes, for all future tournament purposes, I ended up with a really good Shadow Inkay. I got lucky. So, but anyway, that was me and Tristan's confusion and stuff, too. Did your husband happen to have a chance to work with Tristan to get a result?
He did actually. He was asking me if it like.
That's not good. That's not good. I was hoping they never got together because it was the delay was not great last week, and I thought like just 2 people would be better. But
I honestly, it has to be something with just his service provider.
HurricaneKaz,
honestly. Because I just don't know what else could be the issue.
A slight heads up as well too. I'm about to move soon. Like for sure by the end of this month, maybe a little bit sooner, to a new apartment complex. And the internet is slower than my current.
No,
yeah,
that should have been your only concern.
So it was. I forgot it was either Comcast or Spectrum.
Both are terrible.
Both are not ideal. All right, so when I'm there though, because I've already used the internet there before, and it's not bad, right? It's definitely slower. Like for example, as an example, when I upload my YouTube videos, right, or I'll use the podcast as an example. If I upload the podcast onto YouTube, I have fiber, AT&T fiber. It takes about 10 minutes max, which is pretty good for this. I guess these are 2-hour plus episodes to like 30 plus gigs, right? It's pretty quick. If I'm trying to upload an episode with the podcast at my new location, it'll be probably about an hour. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm able to play League of Legends there and not have issues. So, and Go Battle League sometimes will be tricky, but I don't know if that's the internet connection or it's just Go Battle League stuff. So, but anyway, I'm a little bit concerned that it might increase the delay between me and Tristan, but I'm hoping not.
Oh my gosh.
Look, if you and Tristan...
If we're both on delay, then something's wrong.
If you're both on delay, this podcast ends. 204 episodes.
Honestly,
that's the end of the line.
if we're both on delay, I'm going to have to like, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to buy some like Air, like, I think there's like some Google Air thing or something. I don't think it'll be that bad, but yeah. Wait, so what was the verdict on Tristan's situation? It was just like, it was unfixable or like.
Well, I don't know. I tuned out of the conversation. I just let them talk it out. I don't know. I don't know what they ended up doing, but according to Joe, they actually did like work something out. So, like they adjusted some settings and things like that. And I mean, I think they both thought that it would be better.
When did this conversation happen?
Like a couple weeks ago. It would have been before you guys recorded.
Oh, okay. I was hoping that maybe it was after.
Because we were out of town last week, which is why I couldn't be there since you guys had to record later. So they had, I think, done it like before that, you know? Like it would have been done before we originally were supposed to record.
Yeah. So Zencaster, when I first it's a podcast recording platform. When I first used it, you couldn't do mobile. I don't think he's still eligible for mobile, but maybe that might be worth a shot. Is just see if Tristan hops on mobile, if it's possible.
Yeah. Right? Well, has he tried doing it on data even, like rather than doing it on?
Well, he's Wi-Fi. On his computer, so he can't use data.
You can hotspot it though. So like obviously it's like a lot of data, but you can hotspot it.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know what his hotspot plan is. If it's unlimited hotspot, then that might not be a bad attempt.
It might be worth trying.
Yeah, we could discuss that. I know. Anyway, it was just funny listening back to the recording. I was like, this is I don't know what's going on here, but we're not on the same page, and I can't figure out why. But I was confused for a bit, and then it hit me. Anyway, this week though, we got a lot of events that happen. A lot of record-setting events. So let's get into the events to kick things off. We do have a global challenge. What is it, starting today? The 20th?
Yeah.
The 20th? All right, so it starts today, ends the Thursday the 22nd. So by the time you hear this, it might be over. But Might and Mastery Global Challenge, blah blah blah. It's you can trainers open up to 50 gifts per day until the global challenge ends, and it's sending gifts to your friends to the global challenge, right? But you can open more gifts, so you can send more.
Okay.
And the reward,
it's pretty simple in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't necessarily hold more gifts.
No,
you can just You can still only yeah.
Yeah. So it gives you a free special research for Community Classic with my
Okay, no. It doesn't give it to you. It gives you the ability to gift the special research ticket to, I want to say, 3 other people.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe I can't actually say that here. That was what I heard, but looks wrong.
Yeah, it just says all trainers will unlock the ability to gift free special research tickets for May 2025 Community Day Classic for Machop.
It has to be a friendship of great friends or higher, so you can't just add a new friend and get it. Yeah.
Giftable tickets will be available in the in-game shop from May 23rd at 10 a.m. or earlier, depending on the challenge completion time, until May 24th at 5 p.m.
And you could gift up to 20 tickets per day. Interesting.
Wait, what?
But that's just
that's what it says as the asterisk. After for like when it's available, when it's actually available, trainers can gift up to 20 tickets a day. Like what?
No. So I think, well, this is my guess, right? Unless they just give you like unlimited gifting abilities or like 20 plus. If let's say hypothetically if Steve's right, it's like actually 3, then they're just saying like keep in mind if you give 3 away, you can only give 17 other people, like just pay to gift them, right? The next day though, you could give more. I don't know why there's like a limit on how many tickets you get gift per day though. Like Niantic, do you just not want free money? Like it's just like why are you limiting? It's just a weird thing to limit. I feel like
why is that 20 for free?
Also, it's like a weird bonus. Like what? Why would
it is a weird bonus? But I don't understand the limit though. Why? What does it benefit? I'm trying to think of it logically, right? Unless it's like part of their code, but I don't know why they would code this. Why would Niantic limit the amount of gifted tickets you could gift to other people? Because you can only gift 1, right? It's not like I could give Steve 20 tickets alone, right?
Yeah.
Like he gets 1, he's good.
Yeah.
Like Kaz gets 1, she's good. But like, what's the like? There's no pay to win aspect to that, and there's no like significant advantage. It's just you're just stopping one person from gifting a bunch of. I don't know, but what's the point? Why,
I mean,
like,
look,
also, you're not even stopping them. You can just do more the next day.
Yeah,
but it does stop people. It does technically stop people from gifting their entire friends list a ticket.
Yeah, I feel like
you'll have more than.
But then why even give us the ability to like gift at all?
Yeah, I have a feeling that it might actually be a full 20 for free, and we're basically this is basically just like, hey, literally everyone is going to have a ticket for this Community Day Classic, and they're going to find out if this actually helps boost numbers for Com Day Classics. Because like, I don't know about you guys, I don't play Com Day Classics because I've got the Mons. I don't need Machop.
This was Triple Stardust though.
Okay, well that does get more.
That's the incentive right there. Yeah. Not like the ticket or anything. Just give us more Stardust all the time, and people will participate.
I mean, I'll do my best to send out some gifts. I've been pretty lazy about it of recent, but
yeah. Well, whenever we go out of town to see my husband's family, like they live in fairly rural Tennessee, so I like can't get gifts. I can barely get signal most of the time, so it's like it's really difficult to do. But yeah, I would suspect, Steve, that you're probably right. Like the Community Day Classics probably suffer a lot in terms of like participation, so maybe they are trying to do some science, figure out if there's a way to get people more involved. I mean, I only participate in the ones where it's like, oh, I actually didn't get to do this one like the first time around, you know, which usually isn't the case for like a very useful Pokemon like Machop, you know, like you make it a point to go when it was first announced. So it's like, I don't necessarily need to do this one. It's usually the stupid ones where I'm like, oh yeah, I do need actual shinies or candies.
Yeah. So that's everyone open up your gifts, I guess, and send out some gifts in the next 2 days. And by the time this episode drops, probably over. But well, I'll try to get it out a little bit before then. But I don't know. It just, man,
Weird.
I really wish we had like a Niantic hotline. We could call them up, be like, "Can you explain why there's a limit on this?" Like, I just don't understand it. Like,
just a FAQ line.
yeah,
Like,
I
hey,
mean, like,
can I just let me just ask you?
it's not something I'm dying to do. I'm not dying to like gift out like 500 tickets, but like,
I think
I'm
I got
still
it.
confused. All right, okay, let's hear it.
It's literally so that in my head, everyone can have the participation of like gifting tickets. Because say like, you know, say someone in the PvP, say Caleb gifts out 500 tickets, like he covers his whole friend list.
Yeah.
Then anyone else that is also friends with any of his friends, that takes off all of those 500 people from the list. And so you're going to end up with like, you know, a few people that have like gifted everyone. And then most people like, oh, you know, I only got to give out like 2 or 3. And so maybe they're trying to, you know, boost the spirit of giving, get everyone involved as if they're like, you know, doing stuff. I don't know.
That's you know, that's one way to look at it. I don't think you could be right. You could be right there. So what I also am wondering for those that gift a lot, right? I've gifted tickets before, but I never counted how many I gifted out. So who knows? But I like, was there a limit on how many you could gift out in past events? That's what I'm curious. You know? But I don't think I've seen that ever before. So that's why I'm confused. Because I think if there isn't living before, then Steve's right. I think Steve's right. But
yeah, I don't know, because like, yeah, it doesn't, especially before, why would they be incentivized to limit it in any way? Like, why would you hate money? You know,
okay,
because
yes, there is a limit. There's always been a limit of 20.
Okay, so this Steve's theory makes no sense, but also the entire system makes no sense, in my opinion. I don't get it.
So we learned the answer, and now it's even more foolish.
Well, I think the answer is just they weren't going to change the code. The code says 20, and they haven't changed the code, so it is just 20.
I know, but why was that coded to be that limit before? You know, that's the thing I don't understand. Why they even code a
limit? Because surely, is it like a spending limit? Like, is it, you know?
Why did they care? They're not going to limit how much money we spend on raid passes, right? Or like lucky eggs or star pieces or Pokeballs even.
I mean, they do on remotes.
On remotes, yeah. But you can still, besides remotes though, you could buy unlimited Pokeballs, right? You can just like, I don't know. It's just very odd to me as all. Look, I don't even care that much, right? It's just a very odd thing that a company, this is a for-profit company, right? If last time I checked, they didn't turn into a non-profit all of a sudden. So like they're trying to make money, and if people have extra income they want to spend on the game, why not just let them, right? This is not even like this doesn't even go against like their, like you should interact and go outside and stuff. Like if anything, this encourages more people to go outside because more people have the tickets, so they're more likely to want to play a game. Anyway, I'm super confused, Niantic. If you got answers, shoot me a DM. I won't say anything, right? I'm just curious. I'm genuinely just curious. That's all. It doesn't matter that much to me, but I find it very odd. Anyway,
this isn't important, but I want to
know. For curiosity's sake, yeah. There's like, mysteries of the universe. This is one of them for me. All right. Anyway, let's go on to Crown Zacian and Zamazenta. New Crown Sword and Crown Shield energy. So these will be debuting in the Pokemon Go Fest 2025. So obviously it'll be around for all the in-person ones, but I believe these should be released in the global events too. So Global Go Fest. So everyone should have a chance for this. And I've been a big fan of when they introduced I think it first came with a Dialga Origin and Palkia Origin, right? Where they have like special stuff. So do these have special stuff? Or maybe it's just a form change. It might just be a form change. I don't know. I thought there would be Spatial Rend or the Necrozma stuff too. But all right, so the energy are very rare source of stuff where you can transform Zacian and Zamazenta into formidable forms. They can obtain trainers can obtain early access to either Crown Sword energy or Crown Shield energy via branching special research at in-person Go Fest at Osaka, Jersey City, and Paris, of course. And then you can earn the Crown Sword energy or Crown Shield energy by defeating them in raid battles. Nothing too crazy there. I believe it's similar to the Necrozma stuff, and the White Kyurem, Black Kyurem is you just use 1,000 Crown energy, Sword or Shield energy, and then you change it permanently. And then they all learn the charge attack Iron Head. So because it goes Steel Fighting and Steel Fairy, right? So both will be having Stab with Iron Head, and so they could change forms. Oh this is interesting. Ooh. Once a trainer changes their Zacian or Zamazenta form once, they can change that Zasha or Zamazenta form as many times as they like without using energy.
Handy. Because
That's
also,
different, right?
I think
before when they fuse it, you had to spend energy again to refuse, right? On the first one and White Kyurem, Black Kyurem.
I think the main reason is because they're actually very different use cases here in that, like, so it says featured attacks, Crown Sword Zacian. When Zacian becomes Crown Sword Zacian, its charge attack Ironhead will change to the charge attack Behemoth Blade. And that's for both of them. I don't know why it lists them out differently, but when they're in the special form, Ironhead actually changes move.
Sorry, I misread that earlier. So I thought what I thought was like they get Ironhead when they transform, but no, they have to have Ironhead to begin with, and then when they transform, they get their exclusive move, which is Behemoth Blade for the Sword Zacian and Behemoth Bash for Shield Zamazenta.
So Ironhead isn't like any kind of an exclusive move, though, right? It's like you can just regular TM that if you have one. Okay,
accessible.
Great.
In addition to learning the signature moves, they'll have ability to join max battles. Oh, that's pretty nice. They can join max battles despite not being to Dynamax or Gigantamax. This is the first time where
we're breaking the circle. We're breaking the circle, everybody.
The Zacian broke the fourth wall. Yeah. Anyway,
this is breaking into a system that still doesn't get anything out.
Yeah. Listen, that Behemoth Bash is so strong.
That tiny crack, Steve. That tiny crack could just open the floodgates.
Slippery slope, Niantic. I hope you keep slipping.
Yeah.
Slip and slide down into this max battle. All right.
Caleb, we need to encourage them, not discourage.
Oh, I know. No, I know. I'm with you here. Yeah. I'm hoping they keep going down this direction.
No, this actually makes a lot of sense because I only know this because I've played Showdown, but Behemoth Blade as a move does like more damage to Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon.
Oh,
like in the main series games.
So does the Behemoth? What about Behemoth Bash then, the Shield one?
Yeah, I think they're both the same.
Okay.
That's the Behemoth part of the name, I guess. But I assume that it's not like, Well, actually, it says they'll be able to level them up in the same way that you do like Dynamax and stuff. So they do. They
literally just say it right here. This says Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash to do more damage in max battles. You can level it up too. Yeah, just like other max attacks.
This is
the first max Pokemon I'm actually investing in at this point. Well, it's not even max Pokemon, but the first Pokemon I use. Because I have a hundo of both actually, but. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. They don't have. You were talking earlier about adventure effects, but I basically think like this is their version of like
this is good enough.
Yeah, honestly, it's really cool.
It is, and I can't even think of more adventure effects that we can have because we already have everything. The only one I really use is the Spatial Rend one. I don't think I really used. Oh, I did use the Roar Time one when we had that event with the Glaring Birds where you could extend the duration of incenses, but that was pretty much it. I don't even remember what does the Necrozma and Kyurem ones do.
I think they increase the like percentage of catching, something like that. I know a lot of people that like Mike Chen and Alan were using it in Johannesburg for like raids to like make sure they could catch raids quicker and keep churning through.
I also think since those are from Sun and Moon, don't they also like the Pokemon attracted to that adventure effect or like day and night Pokemon?
Yeah. I think that's what the Necrozma one does. Yeah. I think they would be more utilized if you could stack all the adventure effects, but you can only have one active at a time.
Yeah.
To my knowledge. So
if I could use Roar of Time and Spatial Rend at the same time,
oh my gosh,
amazing.
I mean, it's going to cost a lot, but you probably get it all back.
Don't care. I would not care at all.
So yeah, these are cool. So stay tuned for GoFest, I guess. But I'm curious to see how this will do in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Master League's been a lot of fun lately. With all the fusion stuff, like things have become stupid OP, but they all have a lot of play, which is fun. Like, I mean, yeah, like if you don't have like any of the Dustmane, Dawn Wings, White or Black Kyurem, whatever, Dialga Origin or Palkia Origin, right? Then it's not going to be a fun time. But you have these things. Hey, man, it's a fun league. I'm curious to see how these will make an impact on it because Zacian was already a pain before, but I don't know. Do we? Oh, I wonder if you could TM off Behemoth Blade. Because on Zacian, you still might want like fairy, like you probably still want what play rough and wild charge still, right? For like, you don't want to get walled off by a Ho-Oh with like Behemoth Blade and play rough. I mean, you could run Behemoth Blade wild charge, right? But it's just like I wanted to TM it off once you evolve it. You need the Iron Head to evolve it, but can you get rid of it? Is the real question.
Well, it's also the move that it uses in like Dynamax and Gigantamax battles. So if you're able to remove it, you would also have to. They would have to make it so that you also can't bring it into Dynamax and Gmax, which makes me think that the path of least effort is that you have to have the move.
Yeah.
Or you just can't bring it in. I mean, because I think if you can TM it off, then you'll probably want multiple different Zacian and Zamazenta to. Well, I guess you just TM it back and forth. None of them are exclusive moves, but
yeah, it's kind of weird because since it uses that move to basically evolve, and the move itself changes, I'm not honestly sure if you'd have the ability to TM
it. But
while it's in that form.
I can see people just running Behemoth Blade Wild Charge on Zacian because that Behemoth Blade probably hits like a truck against most dragon types. Like Dialga's not going to do anything into it because you have resisted attacks. Oh well, or Iron Head is neutral, I guess, right? But you're like triple resisted on Dragon Breath damage, so you could probably just muscle through with just straight Behemoth Blade with Zacian. And then against like the white and black Kierman, the other dragons, it's probably plenty. So I guess I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Behemoth Blade Wild Charge if you can't get rid of it. But I'm genuinely curious though, because I think there could be an argument to get rid of Behemoth Blade. I don't know. I guess it depends on how good the move is. We don't really know yet. So if it follows the trend of the other fusion stuff, that move's going to hit really hard. Probably be a lot of energy, but
yeah.
Anyway, speaking of GoFest, we do have a GoFest pass, Premier Access.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? So it's $100 USD.
Yeah.
That's a pretty penny.
Yep.
What do you get with this? Well, let's see. So they said we are thrilled to kick off celebrations at GoFest New Jersey in a few short weeks. Today we're introducing an add-on enhancement for your park session, and the Premier Access add-on will offer enhanced experience for everyone, blah, 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 all that stuff for the person buying it. So they're included, but not limited to following. So there might be even more stuff, right? Expedited entry to the Pokemon Center pop-up store to help to keep you on the go. So you get early access to the pop-up store, which is, I guess, kind of nice. Entry to the Premier Access Lounge featuring upgraded restrooms, portable charger kiosks with lockers and seating to recharge yourself for your next adventure. Now they say upgraded restrooms. Usually the restrooms are just porta potties. So, or at least in the US. So anything's probably upgraded from that. But upgraded access to restrooms is kind of wild. But I mean, I guess they're really trying to sell it to you, right? We'll see how good this restroom is. An exclusive lapel pin collectible available for pickup at the Premier Access Lounge. Limited to 1 pin per Premier Access add-on holder. Yeah, that makes sense. And then trainers will also obtain voucher codes for following in-game items, and these codes will be sent via email no later than Thursday, January 5th. So the day before the first day. June 5th. Sorry, what did I say?
January?
Oh. Well, yeah, that's...
They're already late.
2026. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so here's what we get. 100 Pokeballs, 100 Great Balls, 100 Ultra Balls, 50 Silver Pineaps, 100 Super Incubators, 10 Lucky Eggs, 10 Incense, 10 Star Piece, 10 Lure Modules, 10 Glacial Lure Modules, 10 Magnetic, 10 Mossy, 10 Rainy, 100 Premium Raid Passes, 20 Max Particle Packs, 5 Max Mushrooms. They're doing some mushrooms too. And they will expire on December 31st, 2025. So, I mean, if you don't use it for like the next half year, then yeah, it's going to expire. But
the vouchers, the items are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this voucher should have came with 500 extra bag spaces. How are you going to be able to hold all this stuff?
I know, right?
Like, what? That's like, you won't be able to spin a stop for a while. I mean, some people maybe if you have a lot of bag storage. A limited number of Premier Access add-ons will be available for trainers looking to evolve their park session experience. It's only active during your ticket day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's going to be a limit, which I think makes sense, right? Because they don't have the in-game stuff, whatever. They could load that in, I think, with more codes. But they only have a certain amount of extra lapel pins, and then if there's like a million people signing up for this, that the extra upgraded bathroom might not be so upgraded.
I was gonna say they have to limit it just like from a sheer physical space standpoint. Like you can't, like if you're gonna make this premiere, like you have to make sure that you have the space to actually cater it to the people who have literally paid $100 to do it. So I mean, it makes sense that it's gonna be very limited. They do not say how limited though.
So I guess, all right, so hypothetical situation, right? I don't think either of you are going to GoFest New Jersey, but if you were, would you buy it?
No.
Me? No. Well, I think if you are someone that buys items, I think it is actually pretty decent value. But I'm not someone that buys items. So like, you know.
If you I mean, I definitely get it. Like no shade onto people for like buying this, because
these aren't pay to win items either. They're not giving 100 like
if
rare
you're a
XL
person
candy, so I just
who
don't
has
mind
already set aside a budget, like you're traveling there, you are, you know, you're sparing no expense for your experience. Like it makes sense, right? And certainly they have made every effort to make sure you are getting your dollar's worth out of it, because I mean the items alone I think are really good, but also like after attending quite a few GoFests, like access to a premier lounge sounds really nice. So like if that's how you want to play, like awesome, you know. And certainly there I know people who are going to participate in this way.
Well, even just like the fact that there's 100 premium battle passes in there, monetarily that already covers like a significant chunk of that $100 if you're someone that buys raid passes. So like it seems like very good value. Again, it's not time to start spending money, but if you're spending money anyway, I think it's a good way to spend it.
Yeah. That and the super incubators, I think like the 100 of each of those alone, I think is
100
like
super incubators. That's crazy.
That's like super valuable. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Pretty good.
Pretty it's a pretty penny, but might be worth it. All right, so it's obviously, you know, and these are only for people that are going to the event. Who knows? Maybe they'll do something for the global event too. But that being said, so people are presumably already spending money, right? There's no way you can fly for free. Even if you live in the area, you have to spend money on the ticket, right? So people are already spending money to play this event. So
I do think the fact that they're announcing this somewhat later, you know, well, not like later, but like closer to the actual date of the Jersey Go Fest, like I do think that might be de-incentivizing for some people, because like you said, they've already paid for their travel, their hotel and everything. Like they've already sort of set out the budget, I imagine. So that might be a little discouraging for some people that maybe would have done that if they could have planned their expenses a little bit earlier. But I imagine that if this goes well, because it is only for Jersey, they are not announcing this for either of the other in-person Go Fest.
Oh, they couldn't upgrade those restrooms.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that is interesting.
So I do imagine that this is kind of like we were talking about earlier, like a little bit of a test. They'll see how many people buy in, whether they sell out quickly or at all, and kind of judge from there, like how much this experience, like how much value this experience has, you know, going forward.
Yeah. For those that are watching the YouTube version, we do have a Mittens appearance.
It's true. Yeah. He's always like near me at like somewhere, but like he's sitting up right now, just like welcoming the screeches.
My cats are just chilling on the couch looking at me. I wonder if I could angle the camera.
Literally, we were supposed to record earlier, right? And it's just blobs. We were supposed to record earlier, and I was getting everything set up before we decided to postpone it a little bit. And like Mittens was already sitting on the desk, like, yes, I am ready.
I missed last week's episode. I can't miss it again. I got fans waiting for me.
The world needs to be ready to hear what I have to say.
It's true.
Okay.
Well, Mittens, would you buy the Premier Pass? I don't think that's a very strong answer.
He's like, that's $100 worth of treats I could be having instead. What the heck am I going to do with a bunch of Pokeballs? I can't even throw. I don't have a thumb.
Those treats and the catnip lollipops I got him, invaluable.
Yeah, I recently got some. My cats recently turned 11, about, like last week. So I got him some premium seafood canned food. It was from Tika, which is like one of the better brands, I guess. And there was one with sardines, and there was just like whole chunks of sardines. I was like, oh, this is like good. It's not just like mashed up stuff, right? Because you don't know like what kind of like parts of sardines are in there. But
Tika's good. My neighbors that I cat sit for, sometimes they feed theirs like ones that has like whole little shrimps.
Yeah,
like, you can literally see like whole shrimps.
Yeah, I gotta. I forgot to. I should definitely get rid of it. But I put the cans in my recycling. I'm always scared that my cats would get in there because there's still like some canned juices in there that they try to lick, and I'm just scared they'll cut their tongue on the thing.
Take that out immediately.
Yeah, I've done that before myself, actually.
Going into the cat tins and just
just went wild. Just went a little too wild on the cat tins.
TMI, it was on a cat tin. Okay,
no, you were joking.
No, I'm really not. Right? This is a tangent. Obviously, I'm aware, but hey, I'm sure some people might enjoy this. Anyway, the reason is because I'm not like munching on cat food or anything like that. But when I open up the cat food, like I want to make sure, like it's just cat food is like stuff that humans technically can't eat, right? It's like mostly fish stuff, right, in there. It's not like they put in something that's just like whatever. So it was cat food, and like sometimes you can't tell, especially like the mushier brands. It's like Purina or whatever. It's just like a bunch of mush. I don't know what it is, right? So what I'll do is like there'll be a little bit of residue on the lid after I pull it open. So I'll just lick it a little bit, just like a brief taste test to see like, because if it's a little bit rotten, I might be able to taste it. I don't know. Every time it's been pretty safe.
No. You don't.
You know, when I give the Tika, I definitely lick that can top too. But anyway,
that's literally a dare for school children, Caleb. Like, truth or dare, I dare you to eat dog food.
Hey, I care about my cats, right? I do a little poison test for my cats, right? For my kids. So anyway, so I licked the top of the can lid, and
oh my god,
yeah, this is years ago. So now I know when I do this taste test, I lick the center so I don't cut my tongue.
Oh my god.
But okay, also most cat food, and I assume dog food too. I don't have dogs, so I haven't tested it myself because if I had dog, I'd probably test the dog canned food too. But most of their food is pretty bland actually, because I think like their taste buds are pretty heightened, and they don't need like salt and stuff, right? So it's like it just tastes like bland like canned fish.
It's all very. It's so much more higher in like protein than our food too. So like the flavor is like not.
How do you know like about the flavor, Kaz, if you never tasted it yourself?
Because I told you, childhood dares.
You actually you did. That was the only time?
Yes.
How much were you forced to consume in the dare?
I had to eat like a handful of dog food.
So honestly though, you've probably eaten more pet food than I have. Because
I know, right? I know.
Handful of dog food, like the dry ones, the dry kibble.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was terrible. It was awful because it was dry. It was also awful.
Okay, I will say too.
Now my husband's looking at me from the kitchen, like super concerned.
He's like, what? Like he's like, hopefully before I met you.
Yeah, this was when I was in like junior high grade school. You know how it is. Truth or dare, slumber parties.
Yeah, I never. I guess I wasn't slumbering.
Never have you ever?
Never have I ever. The best way to play Never Have I Ever, just last tangent, I swear, probably not. But the best way to play Never Have I Ever is usually like people like hold up a amount of fingers, right? Once you get to like you lose every finger, then you lose the game, right? Whatever. Mm-hmm. But a better way to play when you're with a group of people is if let's say like never have ever eaten dog food, right? And let's say Kaz has, right? Instead of putting a finger down or saying I have, raise your hand, you clap, right? And everyone else that has it also claps. And the thing is, because it's way more obvious, right, that you did it. But also, if you're the only person that claps and you're the only person that did it, you have to tell the full story, right? So obviously, you can extrapolate that to other never have it ever stuff, right? Dog food, you probably just explain why you did it, right? But you don't know who else has done it, right? But you can't not clap. So you kind of, once you realize you're the only one, Yeah, it's a way more fun way to play. You get some pretty funny stories coming out from those kind of evenings. Anyway, let's talk about RSVP planner release. That's a tangent we went on because Mitten showed up.
True.
Thanks, Mittens.
That was two. That was two tangents. Thanks to
was
Mittens.
It's one from me eating cat food to you eating dog food to never have ever.
Yeah.
So I actually got this update while I was gone when I did manage to open my game, and this is actually pretty cool.
Okay, I'm really peeved about this website though. I will say this, right? One thing that really annoys me is if you look at this website, so if you go on PokemonGo.com, wait, it's no longer Pokemon Go Live? They changed the website?
Yeah, wait, what?
It's just PokemonGo.com now. Whoa.
Oh.
Okay. Well, anyway, if you look at the post on RCP Planner, hey, this Scopely stepping in, I guess. They're like, we're going to take PokemonGo.com under our wing. But it'd be funny. I don't think this is the case, but it'd be funny if Scopely bought the URL of PokemonGo.com years ago. And they're like, oh, we finally bought the company. Now we can use the website. Yeah. What if that was part of their bargaining chip? Like, we already have the rights to the website. You know, we're the right people to sell it. Yeah, there's likely no way. It's a small percentage chance, but unlikely. But because why was Pokemon? What happens if you go to Pokemon Go Live?
It redirects.
Oh, redirects. Okay. Yeah, I mean that would make sense actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so if you go, if you go to RCP Planner launch, after the main intro photo, there shows two screenshots of like your in-game like avatar, like on the map, and then the raid screen. Why is the second screenshot like an inch shorter or like a centimeter shorter? It just looks sloppy. Like, why is that? Like, it looks like they took the screenshot from two separate phones. Like, one's like a longer phone than the other.
It sort of seems like they might have.
Yeah, right? Or
I don't see the second screenshot you're talking about.
It's a Mega Gyarados. Do you see it?
Yeah, no. I don't see that one. Not on this page.
The RSVP planner lets trainers see on the map where other trainers.
You see the one on the left? The guy where he's standing under a battle gym?
No, I mean, I just went to the link that you put in the document.
What do you see?
There's like, oh God. Well, I can't turn my camera around because it'll break.
Yeah. Take a screenshot. I'm genuinely curious because what do you see? Because this whole place, this whole section is just a picture. So like, what do you see here? Yeah, I'll post it in our chat so you can see.
Yeah, that's not what mine looks like. I don't
what?
see any. Yeah, I don't see any images like loaded.
Man, you need to get off PokemonGoLive.com and get over to PokemonGo.com.
I know.
Yeah, you're right.
Time for the new Times cast. Scopely's in charge now.
Yeah, like I just see the header image, and then like there are no other screenshots.
Oh,
what if I refresh it and the images go away because they changed it? No, it's still there. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I opened this a while ago. Yeah.
Well,
anyway, we have the images. So.
And now I do too because you put them in the chat.
Yeah, but you see why that pissed me off, right? Because the Gyarados image is like a centimeter shorter.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why is it like?
I don't know.
Why is it blurry?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really need like a Niantic informant here to answer all my unending time questions.
Again, they're frequently asked questions.
They're so irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. But I feel like that's why they could just share those little details, right? I don't know. I ain't going to say anything. All right. Anyway, RCP Planner is coming to go on May 15th, which already has gone live, actually. And have any of you used this yet?
I haven't used it.
So, this is while I was in Auckland a week and a half ago. And I saw it. I was like, oh, it's an RSVP button. And so I hit it, and like you can sort of choose which time. Like it's not like you can't set any time. You sort of have options. Yeah. So it's in like half an hour, in 45 minutes or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so you set the time and it just comes up. It's kind of a clunky in what it looks like. So it just makes it so that like, you know, any raid that has someone RSVP to it, it does turn blue and you have to go into it to take a look. But like it's kind of janky in that you have to pick the forced times, because I put this time in and it's like, well, then people were just raiding anyway. So then I cancelled my RSVP and I just raided with them regardless. So I didn't use it per se. I attempted to, but then it was just more convenient to not. So.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it seems like it should be useful, but it's not necessarily always something you're going to use. Like you're saying, Steve, it's like in theory, you were using it to try and plan for something in the future, but then you just didn't end up needing.
Yeah, but then I don't know if it's just my area or if it's like, I'm assuming it's a lot of areas that are like mine. But even if I set this RSVP, I'm confident that no one's going to rock up to most of the raids that I would stick an RSVP on. So like I'd be setting this RSVP, I'd be waiting 30 minutes, and then no one else is going to rock up. And I guess like, the point is that other people would click RSVP. And so like you can see in some of the screenshots, because I didn't see any of this, there's like a list of trainers that have all clicked on the RSVP. So I guess that's handy. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be handy for me at least. But it's handy for you, then happy days.
It's certainly something that like I do think that this might be more beneficial to areas that have fewer players, like maybe more rural areas or something like that. So you can literally like throw out there like, hey, I'm going to go do this at this time. And the other players around you might be able to see it. Like in a busier area, like where I live in Atlanta, like there are tons of gyms around all the time. Like people are going to do the raid when they're not. I don't think it's something that people here are really going to use.
Yeah.
But it's just a positive feature, so like it's going to help some people, and if it doesn't help you, then it doesn't harm you. So
I like that it's built into the app too, because they have campfire and stuff. It's not really built into the app, and some people don't use it or don't want to like do all this stuff or communicating with strangers. But this is easy. You could just mark it. Like I was gonna say, I feel safe if I had a kid doing this, but I don't know. I wouldn't want my kid to just go to a raid by themselves still. But like if they're just interacting on the RSVP feature, like like dad, like I RSVP for this, can we go by 3 p.m.? I'm like sure, right? Like I wouldn't want my kid like messaging some like adult right on like campfire on coordinating this. So I think it does help that in that respect. But yeah, and then they show all the different raids that are currently active and stuff in the post, but that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy there. So that that's a nice little feature, but that's going to do it for that. And also something about Urshifu being available to be traded.
Yeah, it's not like there's not really much to say. It's just that as of the final strike event, once it hits in your time zone, Cubfu and Urshifu can be traded, which they couldn't be before. So you can, lucky trade it to try and get the hundo.
Where do we get that info from?
Galax.
Okay. So that's good, because now we could actually potentially run an Urshifu, water Urshifu in Great League.
That was part of the problem, right? There was like good chance you couldn't get Great League guy.
Yeah, pretty high chance actually. You don't like. It's only like 15% chance that you could have one.
Yeah, so people are gonna get. It's gonna be tough for now, but like obviously everyone's gonna reroll
Cubfu, because like you want one for like Master League, right? Presumably, or try to have one for Master League or raid purposes, and then you probably want to try an Ultra League, because I think it might be okay in Ultra League potentially. It's a little bit slight in between. It's like Zygarde in Ultra League is really strong still, right? Yeah. So,
but the most anyone can currently have is 2 Cubfu, correct? Yeah.
So obviously they will re-release more in the future, obviously, but we'll see how long that takes.
It's true, because I did not buy the ticket, so I only have one. And it's like the people who did buy in to have 2 are not going to be like giving away their Urshifus.
Yeah, even if you walk around GoFest looking for it, it's probably not going to help too much.
Yeah, no.
Because I've been like, doing trades with non-PvP folk for like, they're happy to donate their Xerneas, because like obviously it's useless to them. They don't need it.
Yeah.
But Urshifu, like they've paid for it for a reason. Like it's not like they're going to give that away for sure. But, we'll see.
Okay. Well, that being said, we don't have Kazakorn this week, I assume, because of Tristan's not here.
Tristan.
Anything going on Go Battle League? So we have Go Battle Week this week. It's Catch Cup and Great League at the moment.
Oh, really? Oh, did it just start? Right.
It just started, yeah. And then we have, I believe it's all 3 leagues.
Last week.
But we have, it's a lot of battles starting. By the time you hear this episode, it's probably live already. I think it's midnight your local time on Tuesday, which is when we're recording this.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
for the Go Battle
for
week.
Me.
Yeah, so you should be able to do 600 battles or 100 battles today.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey.
I'm not saying you have to, but
I'll be lucky if I do 25.
You may. I mean, it is nice though they have it at the end of the season so people can make that final push, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh my god, so I don't have time. I was like, technically you got like 600 battles this week, so you have a lot of time. You could hit legend in under 600 battles from rank 1 to legend on the towards the end of the season. 100%.
Yeah.
Not saying it's easy. I've never done it myself personally because I'm usually playing throughout the season, or I'm always playing throughout the season. But I've seen good players post that. So.
That's a cool challenge idea, though, to go from like not doing a single battle all season until do the go battle.
Steve, you should have thought about it. You should have skipped those 56 battles you did already.
Oh, I'm so
how many battles have you done? That could have been a great YouTube video.
Yeah, not that many to be fair. Like it's still going to be a low number, but like King IV has done less battles to legend for sure.
Oh yeah. He hit legend pretty quickly.
Yeah, he hit like 200 and something battles.
Recent father too.
Yeah. Congrats.
Cindy, his wife gave birth. Yeah, recently.
Very good.
It was funny because they sent a photo to our team chat when she was, like in the hospital, like right before like the child was born, and he was wearing a shirt with Pikachu or with Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. I was like, dang, look at King IV ready to already give the question to his kid on which starter you're gonna pick right when they're born.
Yeah, as soon as that child is declared healthy, he's like, all right, I have a very important follow-up question.
No, Steve, though, actually, I think it still would be a cool video idea if you're like, oh, can I hit legend in Go Battle Week in 600 battles?
Yeah, because I've currently done 336. It's like there's also if you really wanted to, you could sort of tank first and then.
Well, yeah, but what's your elo at? Or you have a rank?
2178.
That would be a pretty good video if he could climb like almost 900 points in a Go Battle Week. It's not if you see, because the good part is you don't have to hit it. Your YouTube videos, can I do it?
Oh, true.
So even if you fail, no one would know until they finish the video.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like in vet while you're on like your 550th battle, it might be a little tough. But but that could be funny footage. You have to speed everything up on like 10 times speed. Like, whoa, Steve dropped a 10-hour video? What the heck is this?
I do think it would take some clever editing.
Yeah. You'd have
or
to
you should just embrace it or do different parts. Like day 1. Go. Dude, that's 6 videos right there for you, Steve.
Caleb is the new manager.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
Content.
Speak to my agent.
100 battles a day every single day for 6 days straight. You turned in the PhD last week, right? You're chilling.
Yeah, I'm temporarily unemployed, so I could.
you know, that's all I'm saying. You have
we'll see.
That could be a great content.
How long does it last? It's like midnight Tuesday your time to the end of Sunday?
Yeah, is that? Yeah. I'm on the page. Sure. Let me Control F to choose. Oh, Tuesday to Tuesday.
It's Tuesday to Tuesday.
Oh, Wednesday to Tuesday. Yeah, through May 27th.
Okay.
So it's the entire week of Catch Cup.
Literally like a full week.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'll do that too. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
Literally, we just saw the meme take place where it's like, I made this.
It was a great idea. It was my idea. You can do it too if you want. I'm not going to be mad at you, but maybe. That's going to be really hard because I'm going to be at Portland this weekend.
I'm going to do dueling thumbnails.
100. Yeah.
Because you're competing as well this weekend, right?
I am, yeah. So dude, 100 battles. I mean, I'll get plenty of practice through.
True. It is
I'm
great.
Also, like, moving stuff this weekend. Like, there's going to be a lot of. I'm going to be doing a lot of PvP this week if I'm trying to actually do all 100 battles.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be doing very much. I'm going to be in a different. I'm going to be in a different state for each of the next like 3 weekends. Oh.
Well, you have to have your iPad when you're. Might have a request.
Yeah. I'm already on it.
All right. Okay. Hey, this is not a bad idea. This is gonna be a long freaking video, so very long videos.
Yeah.
But no better way to get in shape for Portland. Watch me just go to Portland, go 0-2. I'm like, dude, I just been playing too much GBL this week. I was seeing so much carping and Bastion. I wasn't ready for this meta. This actual play Pokemon meta. Wait, that actually could be a funny idea though. Oh man, I really need to like mentally prep myself to do 100 battles every single day is a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. I'm going to probably battle the same people over like probably 30 times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some
honestly, people. Like what I usually do is like I do not make it my goal to do all 100.
It's exhausting.
But it is nice to just be able to kind of like pick it up whenever instead of like, because normally if I sit down to do GBL, I might do like all my sets like all at once, you know, and because it usually just takes a couple hours, so it's like, oh, I'm just chilling anyway.
Yeah.
But like when Go Battle Week rolls around, it's like I can pick it up, put it down, whatever, you know. It's nice having more flexibility with it instead of feeling like kind of like locked in.
Yeah. Wow, this is an ambitious content idea. Okay, honestly, like it wouldn't be as bad if I wasn't traveling, right? But because I'm going to Portland, like,
because then you need to look at 100 battles like while you're on like competition day as well, which is
maybe it's not the end of the world if I go 0-2.
For the content.
Someone commented on a recent podcast post. They said it's Richard Rank said, "No more halfway metas. Are you sure? What about community days? Tristan seemed like he was going to crawl through the computer and slap you, Caleb." That's hilarious. That's actually hilarious. All right, so we'll see if look, I'm going to Portland. There's no reason why you can't do this, Steve, right?
Unless I'm going to Portland. Kristen's been like, you know, really trying to say like, oh yeah, he's going to Portland, man. He's going to Portland.
You might be in Durban, right? South Africa this weekend too. So
yeah, look.
How am I going to have time to do practice tournaments too? Man, I'm going to really have to hunker down this content idea, but we'll see.
Think on it.
Okay. Think on it. I don't got time to think on it. This
you gotta go.
8 hours.
You gotta start right now.
Live. Yeah. Oh,
starts at midnight, baby.
For real.
Rest up, King. But
dude, I'm going to be losing my voice. I'm going to show up in Portland if I'm interviewed and I have no voice because I'm like voicing over like 5 hours of footage prior.
Meanwhile, I'm taking the opposite route. I'm disappearing into the mountains for a week. and then coincidentally I'll be in Portland the weekend after.
Well,
okay, well, this is going to be ambitious, but if I don't fall through on it, you'll know why. I think I'm at this point, I'm just dedicated. I'm just going to try to make it work. Anyway, championship series. Let's get into this because we had a lot going on this weekend. Okay, let's start off with Melbourne Regional Championships, which you commentated. Fantastic job. It also happened. It wrapped up in one day, right? I thought it was going to be on the Sunday, but it ended up being on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But honestly,
Australia does do them because like LATAM does the one day events on Sunday, but Australia does them on the Saturday, which like in the past, some of these events were 2 days, like they would sort of push a top cut to day 2, but I think they realized that they could push it through all in one day. And so they do, but like, you know, you can definitely see the impact of that on like the battlers. Cause like admittedly in like, you know, the top 4 or even the top 6, they were making some mistakes that they were like, it was fatigue. Fatigue was really setting in because like it was a long day. So I can see that. There's definitely downsides. And I heard a lot of competitors sort of like putting in feedback being like it's almost unfair on the competitors for it to be a one day event just because it is so long.
Was there any like latency issues or anything like that, or was it pretty smooth?
On the most part, it was
if there's a
smooth.
bunch of reviews, like it would slow down the tournament a lot, right? And drag.
There wasn't a lot. Like there was only one major review that I'm sort of aware of that sort of took place towards the end, but it was pretty review free. I think we only had one review on stream, maybe 2, but it was pretty fine for the most part. It really just was. If I'm being honest, the tournament was run pretty inefficiently compared to some of the Australian tournaments in the past. In like, there were multiple times when like there was one stream match going on, no one else was battling. And it's not like they were waiting for the stream match to finish because it didn't need to. It was in the future. But like all of the tables were empty. There weren't any judges around. I'm not really sure what was going on, but it was a little bit stretched out. But anyway, it was still a good event. It was 63 people retroed, which was a bit of a shock that it didn't actually cap. It didn't hit 64 because Melbourne is historically the big Australian regional, and Brisbane out retroed it. Brisbane hit cap. So.
Were there no shows?
There were only like 2. I think someone said there was like 61 people in the actual bracket.
I mean that's pretty good though, because that's a very small amount of no shows. That's like what two no shows.
On Dracoviz it shows 55 people that actually like put in a team. So
dude,
I guess
crazy enough. In this top 8, there's 3 people from the United States on the Australia tournament.
Yeah.
But I think this is the first time ever where we had a grand finals in a region where both players weren't from that region, right?
Yeah. We definitely like claimed that on the broadcast because I was trying to think it through anytime that there was like, a foreign winner. And I was like, I'm pretty sure every time.
There's always been the first time from the region,
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I was like cheering for the Aussies pretty hard because
for sure if you lost a guaranteed invite.
if an Australian won the tournament, I'm qualified for Worlds. Or like if someone in the top.
No, Steve. That's the thing though. This is picture perfect because now you have to try to qualify for Worlds rather than just have a hand at you, right? Because now it's a toss up. But now people are like, oh. What about Steve's next tournament then? Like, he might do it. Maybe he does it.
No, it's really easy. I just need Ric Flair to go top 4 at NAIC. Pretty simple. But,
something else to drag on. We can't lock it in just then and there, right? Because I know Valiant Vish's like, I'm qualified, right? I looked at it. I was like, yeah, he probably is qualified.
Yeah,
unless a bunch of people from Oceania go and do like really well at NAIC, right?
Yeah, no. We're all pretty confident on like, who is going. Like, I'm pretty sure the people that they're like, oh no, they're not going are like locked in because they're either guaranteed for Worlds or they're just like,
you're at 11th right now?
Or 12th because we have 11 qualified.
Okay. So yeah, you were really... I need to go back and listen to the casting now that I have this in mind. Like, how hype was he when Aussie won it, and how sad was he when it was a grand finals without Aussie?
He was just sitting there in the corner like, whew!
I was God. So when I think it was the losers finals that was like the last big shot. So Fortois, also known as Greg from America. So he's actually an American guy, but we've sort of just claimed him as an Aussie because like he lives here, he works here.
Oh, that's Greg. Because I saw on the leaderboard. So like, who the heck is Greg? From
That's okay. Greg from America is Fortois, which very funny that he's used that as the username on the leaderboard. Because like we just started calling him that at his first tournament. Like he beat Valiant Vision round 1. It was like, who is this guy? It's like Greg. Oh, from America.
It's too long of a username to fit, right?
Yeah. I think so. But once he lost the losers finals, which like. The truth is he kind of threw in that like it was game 5 for the losers finals. He forgot there was a Pokemon in the back and he had a move that he could have tapped and he didn't tap it. But even if he went to grand finals, like he got 0-3'd by the eventual champion Pokemon Moneymaker. So he
probably good chance he probably does something like that. Yeah.
Chances he might lose anyway. But like I was like devastated in the corner while Debbie Pebble and Krishna Hita were casting. I was like, no.
Oh, the plot armor for the international invaders here is too strong.
But yeah, it was definitely stacked. Obviously there was a lot of Aussie legends in there, all of your Ric Flairions and your Valiant Vishes, but as you said, there were a lot of internationals coming in as well. Not that many from Asia, which there have been in the past. There were a few, like Yetaruna was around, NG Bri from Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Pokemon Moneymaker from Japan won the entire thing after coming 3rd in Perth.
It's crazy.
And then there were 3 from the US that all finished in top 8 with Nighttime Clasher and Sustenance Cedar rocking in. Nighttime Clasher didn't break his top 6 curse and ended up 5th place again, which I think makes his like record since EUIC 5th, 3rd, 5th.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
My gosh.
But it's very good, but he was definitely fishing for the win. And because of all those top results, he literally needed to come 2nd to get any championship points. Like he got, nada on that front.
Wait.
Because of best finish.
Wait, right, for him, because
for him,
because he already has so many 5th places. I was like, he didn't get points, but that makes sense. I guess
then,
it goes towards travel war for LIC for next year at least for him, but
not even because it's all.
Because he's already had.
He's already got the 5th, 3rd.
He's insane.
Yeah,
and he and his brother were still using like the exact same team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they said that on the interview, but they did actually change it.
Did they change it a little bit? Oh.
Yeah, it's slightly different, I think, because they were running Claydol instead of Diggersby, and then Drapion instead of Malamar, I think, as a dark type. But
oh yeah, the Malamar is missing. That was such a big bit at Atlanta, I remember.
But I think the crazy bit was El Cavissimo, who came in off his top 8 with Typhlosion back in Atlanta with Dreyflames, was it? And he was running double Incinerate and came second.
Yeah,
it was
crazy. Well, I was trying to do some team build for Portland. I was thinking about, I was like, is double Incinerate crazy here? And then when I saw him win with it or get second with it, I was like, wait, hold on, maybe not. But yeah, that's a breakout performance for El Cavissimo too. I mean, he did well in Atlanta, but that was definitely not like a fluke performance. Like he's just leveling up even more. I mean, there's good battlers here too, right? It's not like it's a small tournament, but there's still really good battlers. Pokemon Moneymaker is kind of crazy too. Went third and then first in his only 2 tournaments ever. Like he's never played BJCS.
Yeah, well, I think he qualified. I don't know exactly how the Japan system works, but he did win a tournament that I think qualifies him for PJCS. But and he said he was going to compete in it anyway. But I think he's pretty happy to have it locked in. Yeah, to say the least. It is I'm very happy for him to get the win because he's a very talented trainer. It's really, really hard for Asia in that Japan only gets one chance, but even though they only have one chance, it is funny that Japan still gets more qualifiers than Oceania anyway.
True.
But also he needed to win. If Pokemon Moneymaker comes second, he gets nothing.
That's way harder too, because in other qualifications, there's top 2, right? Maybe at a minimum, but to win it, you win or nothing. I mean, he was feeling good, definitely coming in on the winner's side for sure. But
But out of the 3 tournaments this weekend, he's the only one that didn't win with Furret. So,
well, he's also the only one that didn't win with Typhlosion.
True.
That's Pokemon Moneymaker was running Talonflame instead, which I guess for audio listeners, Pokemon Moneymaker was running the Claydol Credilli, which I thought was a bit odd, the Drapion, Lapras, Talonflame, and Tinkaton. Which, I mean, to be fair, Drapion was number 1 usage in Melbourne, which I thought was whack.
Yeah. Well, the Claydol
can't be stopped. Cannot be contained.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, Nighttime Clasher. Wait, Nighttime Clasher and Substance, they did run the same team. I thought you said they didn't.
Oh, just as in no. So they ran the same team, but not.
They ran the same team as each other, but not from
Atlanta.
What?
Gotcha.
Was it Atlanta where they were? Yeah,
because they had Diggersby for that one. Yeah, and I think the Claydol adjustment was definitely smart because a lot of people were using Shadow type Flotion in practice tournaments and stuff. So and that's a good check there for sure.
Yeah, definitely the Pokemon of the weekend, I think.
Yes. What it will look like for this upcoming weekend, who knows? But yeah, big congrats to El Cavissimo as well. A lot of championship points there. Probably locks in a world qualification off of that.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. That's I was casting the grand finals and I was like, the stakes aren't that high for El Cavissimo in my head because it was Pokemon Moneymaker needs to win to qualify.
Yeah.
El Cav's already locked in. He's fine. He can come
trip pay for itself.
yeah, exactly. So I was kind of I was definitely pretty obviously sort of rooting for Moneymaker because it was that's the only one who really wins here.
Yeah. One extra player going from Japan is always better than one from North America, where it has so many slots.
You guys are fine, man.
I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, what exciting tournaments! And then after that, we had Utrecht, which, because this is a sequential order of actually how they took place too, which makes sense. So Utrecht, special event, and we have a repeat champion nickname. You know what's interesting? I forgot the person's name, but I was looking at the graphics of winners from Utrecht. Someone else, some TCG player, they also are repeat champion this year for regionals, and they also won. What was the event that nickname won before this? I forgot whichever tournament that was. It was 2 tournaments ago.
It was Stockholm.
Was it Stockholm? Yeah, Stockholm. This TCG player also won Utrecht and Stockholm. So they both repeat champions in the same same 2 tournaments, which is kind of crazy. Anyway, insane performance from nickname. To have another first place finish in the same season is no easy feat. Maxi makes it to second place, which I believe is his first ever highest finish to date, which is really good. I mean, he's always been really good at the game too. So
I think the highest before that for this year was in Dortmund. Yeah, came in 9th.
Yeah.
Last year also did well at Utrecht and better in Barcelona.
Yeah. And then Mind Joke got 3rd, Zephy Massix 4th. A lot of big names: Coxiac, Zwilis, Paul Asha, Elfin Flange. I mean, these are all well-known players from Europe. Very strong. Strange Top been playing really well this season too. I know Strange Top went pretty far in Worlds last season, but didn't have a lot of top performances at regionals and stuff, like compared to this season. But this season's been kind of popping off. Is in that top 16 mark, as well as a bunch of other people that most of them I recognize. Nickname with Azumarill, Claydol, Corviknight, Shadow Typhlosion, Shadow Jumpluff, and a Furret team. And then Maxi with Non-Shadow Lapras, Claydol, Azumarill, Talonflame, Shadow Drapion, and Malamar in that second place. That Malamar didn't have a lot of places to go, honestly, into that team. I feel like Furret was really strong. I didn't actually watch all the finals.
Whoa, clip that.
No.
Yeah, what was that?
Okay,
you said Furret was strong?
No. Hear this, right?
I think I heard he said Furret was strong.
Get this. Before I saw this tournament result, right before this weekend happened, I was team building. I didn't test yet, but I was messing around with the team with a Furret on it. It was very strong. My team was very strong.
It all comes full circle, baby.
Was one of the few things, like I can be wrong. Right, I wasn't making crazy statements like Azumarill will never win a tournament this season, but
no, that's not.
But my bet with Anacore was if it wins Atlanta, and it did not win Atlanta. So you best bet you can see Anacore with a Fur Bastion core still, right?
At Worlds.
Yeah. I think this is Furret's first win and Corviknight's first win.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is actually Corviknight's as well.
What about Shadow Typhlosion's first win?
Maybe.
Who's won Shadow Typhlosion before this? Oh, I guess no, Alkivistmill didn't have it actually.
No.
Oh no, Alkivist got second. Yeah. I think I'm thinking of my Shadow Typhlosion win too. Actually.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the bridesmaids graphic, and I did update it for Melbourne. We didn't even use it on stream.
Graphics update.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think if Typhlosion was on there. It's like it was really low count, like it was barely ever in top 8 anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might be right.
Oh,
and there's like
3-time first is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Even like nothing's changed. Like this is the same meta. Like there hasn't been a new Pokemon or a new move. Like obviously Tinkaton came out like a month ago now.
It's just because Tinkaton was so strong, so they need something to core break Tinkaton Lapras, which which I mean not really Talonflame to a degree. Talonflame's okay, but Typhlosion is the core breaker there.
Yeah. Well, like Tristan mentioned this last week on the podcast, and like everyone was thinking it, but the big core breaker to the team that won the week before was Typhlosion.
So, and then so people bring Claydol, and so nicknames thinking people bring Claydol, so he brings Furrets.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what he's thinking, but that would make the logical sense.
But surprisingly, like he's not the only one to make that read either. Like he's the one that won, obviously, but there were 4 other Furrets like in the top 16.
Me too. Like I said before the tournament started, I had a team with Furret on it. But no, fantastic. I mean, I didn't actually play in tournament, so I could have still O2'd. But let's just hop over to Santiago, I guess, because now that we're about to talk about it too. Santiago,
there were no other Typhlosions except for Marto's that won.
Yeah, but there were 3 firsts in the top 4.
One. Just one.
Yeah, I 3 firsts in the top 4 is kind of crazy.
They probably built the team together because I know they hang out a lot. So I assume that they were just running it back.
Yeah, you think Marto built it with Javier and Harjeff and Helios?
Swagron.
Swagron. Oh, him and Swagron. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant in the top 4.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of similarities in the top 4.
Because they have the same team. Him and Marto and Swagron.
Is Swagron on 7-Eleven? He is, right? Or no?
I'm not actually sure. I just know that they're friends.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I think Marto said he didn't use the Shadow Typhlosion. I think I was looking through his tweets. He said he didn't actually use it. I mean, because there's Claydol everywhere. There's 7 Claydol in the top 8, and then the other one has a Unova Stunfisk, which also is very strong into Typhlosion because you can't just throw Thunder Punch, right? You have to like land a Blast Burn.
Yeah,
but
like there's also a lot of Tinkaton and a lot of Jumpluff, but
there's a lot of Tinkaton. 7 out of top 8 also Tinkaton. 6 out of the 8 has Jumpluff, and then the person that doesn't have Jumpluff has a Alolan Sandslash, so that's even worse for Typhlosion. I mean, I think Fire types are definitely strong, right? I think Alkavistmo's strategy was pretty solid there. Yeah. This does end Corlash's streak of regional wins, though. But hey, that's a crazy streak. Back-to-back tournaments, no easy feats. Harjeff gets 3rd, Javier V20 gets 2nd, and then Marto Galde with his 4th win. Fourth win.
This season, not all time.
This season,
more all time.
Fourth
this
win.
season.
Yeah, 3 special events / regionals, and then an international. And the season's not over yet. He's I guess he's like working on NAIC, so he's not competing there, but he could still win Worlds,
true.
which would be kind of crazy. If he does that, that would literally be like one of the most. It would be a historic run that probably can't get topped for like decades, if not ever, if he wins Worlds. But we'll see. I don't want to like put too much pressure or jinx him or anything like that. But
Stop talking now.
Yeah. But some of the casters were talking about this in our caster Discord, and we're like, has there ever been any performance like this with 4 major wins in any of the other games? Yeah. And I don't believe that's the case. Wolfie had a 4 tournament stretch though outside. So it was like 2 regionals or international. Maybe it was like two events and then Worlds and then 2 more events. He didn't win Worlds, but he won the other 2 back to like front before and after. So it's essentially outside of Worlds, just 4 events in a row he got first, but they also took place over the course of 2 seasons. So
I mean,
there's a few. I think there's a few juniors or seniors that have gotten 4 wins in a season, but and you could say like, oh, that's not as much competition. But if you look at it, the numbers for like the seniors for TCG is like actually comparable or sometimes more than Go players tournaments still. So they're still pretty impressive feats. But on the Masters level, I don't think any TCG or VGC player and just any Pokemon player in general has gotten 4 major wins in one season.
So I mean, like, Yakko did a similar thing to Wolfie, where he won OCIC and then didn't win Worlds, and then he won Brisbane and then Melbourne in that sort of like back-to-back non-Worlds events. But it's not 4.
Well, not to spoil it, but
season.
Wolfie technically won 4 events there.
Yeah.
Outside the Worlds, but Yakko's performance still very impressive. Wait, is he not? He's just not playing this season at all. I know he recently had a kid.
No, I mean, like the behind the scenes is that originally he was actually going to cast Melbourne instead of playing, but he was like hard busy the weekend, so
okay.
So he wasn't going to play anyway.
Because I know I saw him comment on Val and Vicious post, like, "Hey, we're so retired today. What's going on?"
Yeah. Oh well,
Val and Vicious like, nah, I'm gonna get a chip if I can.
Yeah, well, he wasn't going to play either until he hit top 3 in Brisbane 2 months.
He was talking about like maybe I got lucky. I was like, come on now, you're not getting lucky. You're just good. Like,
dude,
like we were beating nighttime caution. Nighttime caution is playing like in like 20 tournaments a season. That just did not skip a beat.
No. He played well. Although Vish has got pretty good matchups into nighttime clash on the historical sense. But also, like, Vish was sort of saying it in person. He was like, "Nah, man, like I'm just really lucky." And we were all like, I think he said something along the lines of, "You guys put me in like way too high regard." And we were saying, well, stop proving it. Like, stop giving us reason to, because like the man doesn't fail. He's just
yeah.
Anyway, it's a shame that we didn't get a stream for Santiago. I know there were tweets going around that it is like this is an incredibly stacked tournament. I mean, when you've got a top 3 that's Marto, Javier, and Harjeff, like these are obviously incredible battles. And the fact that they're not even allowed to, like, you know, at regionals, you're not allowed to get the footage either. Like, as soon as they're played, no one ever sees those battles ever again. They're gone to history. Is just like really devastating.
Why?
Yeah. I think that's like the change that, like, I can understand that it's hard to get a stream. Like, obviously we wouldn't have streams in Oceania if it wasn't like, you know, for us buying all the tech and physically running all of it. But like on their end, at least you could just give permission to grab the footage and then at least you can show it off. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's see. It really seems like they should at least be able to have the footage. Yeah. If you're not going to have a stream, like, what's the point of just like erasing it forever?
Yeah. That's the rule I've never understood, is because like I actually did get some footage from Melbourne 2022 before they realized we weren't allowed to get the footage. But like I've sort of like asked every time and like, oh, you know, could we, like, I think before we had streams and when they were still turning down streams, I was even like, oh, what if I just, like, you know, I don't get the physical video, but what if I just record like a phone, like, you know, I hit play on the video and record it, and they're like, nah. Yeah, definitely a shame, but, you know, I guess Marto will just have to do it at Worlds where there is a stream.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, there were some really good battlers too. I didn't hear too many issues from like connection side of things. I think one person tweeted out I think Ice Chris said something, but I don't know if it was like an organized thing. I don't know if it was like lag related or not. But I think at least from a game state, it didn't seem too bad from Santiago. At least, but I don't know. I didn't hear anything bad, I guess. So
yeah,
but that's always a good sign when the games are mostly lag free.
Yeah.
Anyway, very impressive feats from all players. Honestly, like we got a first time APAC winning a whole tournament qualifier from a TPCI region.
Mm-hmm.
We got a 3-time regional champion, but twice in a season from Nickname. I think it was back-to-back tournaments. I don't know if he went to a tournament in between, but
back-to-back,
which also coincided with the back-to-back same 2 regionals for this other European player, TCG. And we got a 4-time so far tournament wins for Marto Galde, which is 100% a record too in Pokemon. Well, it's a record in like probably all the games, but particularly Pokemon Go as well too, right? Because Doombug had the notorious 3 last season, but 4 with the international under his belt. Remember when we had Marto Galde on this podcast and he thought he wasn't the best player? He wasn't even in the top 5. That man's tripping.
Oh yeah.
It's fine though. When you're that good and you're humble, hey.
Yeah, we love a humble king.
Yeah. Humble goats. All right, let's head over to the tea topic because I don't think there's too much else going on here. I do think that, we have Kingambit showcases, and a lot of people are pretty peeved about it because there's just a lot of... I mean, Jerry Seawolf tweeted this out, but he's like, oh, maybe I want to rethink this, Niantic. He showed 4 showcases of Kingambit, and not a single person in any of the 4.
Yeah,
I have 100% Pawniard. I don't have a Kingambit. I also like it's Dark and Steel raids. What are in raids that are Dark and Steel at the moment?
I mean, there were some during the event.
I'm going to have my first Kingambit after Go Fest. After Go Fest is when I have mine. Because I'm not, I don't know how else I'm going to just string together a bunch. Like, because you have to constantly change your buddy too, right? Like, if it's just doing 15 Steel Dark raids, that's one thing. But to remember to change your buddy when you do one and look for them, like, I don't even know what's Dark and Steel. I'm not going to raid a bunch of Pawniard.
Yeah, you can currently raid Inkay, not Shadow, so too bad, I guess. Togedemaru, Ferrothorn, or Mega Gyarados. So,
I mean, Mega Gyarados is something, but the others, Anyway, I mean, we kind of knew this was going to be an issue, right? But to have them in showcases is probably not ideal. They're not Pawniard showcases, only Kingambit. So it's a huge inaccessibility issue. And, some people are like, oh, well, you don't have to showcase. It's not like you have to pay to do showcase. But, like, well, yeah, but if they want you to interact with this part of the game, you need to pay to win, essentially. Because even if you do one free raid since the release of Kingambit, you won't be able to have the Kingambit evolved by then. So you had to spend raid passes on raids to actually get the Kingambit. But how many people are... Oh, actually, you know what? I'm curious because there's a stop near me that does showcases. I'm curious if I could see...
Oh, actually, yeah, I can see it. I think I can see one from my spot as well.
Yeah, there's only one.
Can you see?
Dude, I'm in downtown LA, and there's only one. I tell you, these showcases are hard to win, right? I've won one showcase in this area since they've had showcases. It's super hard, and I usually enter in every single week. There's only one person. That's a bad sign, right? In one of the most populated places to play Pokemon Go.
Well, congrats to them, I guess. But
yeah, they've really earned it.
I mean,
my one showcase spot isn't actually running a showcase, so
I
don't know. Did it end like 8 p.m. last night for me? Is that?
It's until the 20th. Yeah. So it ended yesterday. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I'm pretty much like, pay to win. If run a pay to win one, it's fine. Showcases aren't that big a deal.
I'm not honestly like that. It is what it is. I think it's a feels bad moment, right? I think look, there's nothing Niantic will probably do at this point, and most people will probably eventually have Kingambit and they'll just like move on to the next thing to rage about. But I do think this is something to consider for next future times. Like, what was it? Was it Urshifu to evolve that one? Way more reasonable, right? You could do max battles, you could do raids, you could do whatever, right? just to be able to spend like only raid passes on dark and steel types, and like how many dark and steel types are there that are like worth doing? You know, it's just like no way I am raiding a
not until Go Fest.
Yeah, not to Go Fest. So
you know, I mean, I get why it's a niche thing to care about, because like I don't do showcases ever, but like at the same time, I know that there are people that care about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that you would limit it instead of like open it up, when opening it up to more Pokemon, you know, so that more people could participate, has been the trend in the past, just feels particularly frustrating.
Yeah. Oh, anyway, that'll be, that pretty much is it. I mean, the tea's not piping hot. It's just a little bit of annoyance from some people. But
it's been busy. It's been everybody's been busy.
What do you mean everyone's been busy?
Oh, it's just like it's just been a busy season. That's all.
Oh yeah. But
people got things to do, not complaints to make.
That's right. We actually do have a couple comments here, so I will cover it, because I thought there wouldn't be, because we just the episode was kind of late, but lately posted. That's partially my bad.
I was gonna say, wasn't it just posted?
Yeah, it was but we have a couple comments, so we'll cover here. Zay said, hit legend after leaving my comments, so I guess I just had to complain. Well, congrats, Zay. AJP left a bunch of hearts for us. And Trainer Pond says, is there significant lag on Tristan's mic? Notice his replies always come in a bit late and the flow isn't quite as smooth. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Trainer Ponds. And yeah, it's someone else also says it's really disruptive. I don't know how Josh in Australia can have better connection than Tristan in the US. Can something be done? Yeah, I think we'll have to figure something out. It's kind of tough, right? I wonder. It's not ideal. We'll have to ask Tristan on this too, right? Because obviously, like, hearing his voice is important. But like, what if he's just like writing us questions and his comments in the chat? Because there will be a delay, right? Because the unfortunate part is we had to wait for him to hear it, and like I said, with the two people, it was super tough, right? A lot harder than I thought. We'll try to come up with something, because like we tried to have Kaz's husband help him out and stuff too, but I don't know what it is. We'll try some stuff out, because I do think it's.
I'll have a conversation after I get off here. We'll see where they landed.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Wonder, like, maybe it was only like a really big issue, because like it is like one of the worst episodes, the last one, in terms of like, you know, how much of an impact Tristan's delay had. Yeah. And I do wonder if it is just because like Tristan was 50% of the episode as opposed to like, you know, 1 in 4.
I don't know.
Like every conversation is like going back and forth,
because I have to wait for him
every
to reply.
Time. You're passing through the
there is a certain, you know, something to be said for the fact that, like, yes, it probably becomes more noticeable when there's not as many people contributing.
Let's give it a shot and see too. I don't want to make it so that Tristan can't talk or anything either, right? If he wants to actually say something, but it is not. Look, we feel you, right? It's just imagine me when I'm editing it too, because I'm trying my best to line it up, but there's just no way, right? Like, what I do is his audio length is also like slower for some reason, so I speed it up. So Tristan's technically not talking at his regular speed. He's talking at 100%. He's talking at 100.1% his regular speed, which is so small you actually don't notice it, right? It's not like his voice like high pitched or anything, but it does. That's why, like, at certain parts of the podcast, sometimes it'll be like I hear what he says before he says it. I'm like, oh yeah, that thing, but he hasn't even said it yet, or he says it like right when I'm saying it, because in real time I hear it later, but because I had to I don't know. Anyway, I'm going too much into it, but we'll try to do something about it. We'll do our best, but it is. I mean, we appreciate everything Tristan does, but it is. It does make the listening experience a little bit tough. But we'll see. Let me just check if there's any Jen comments.
Yes, check for Jen comments,
because
I'm gonna see her again this weekend. I'm so excited.
Is she going to NAIC? Or Worlds?
No, unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay.
No, we're going on like just a friend vacation next week. We're all going hiking in the mountains. It's gonna be great.
You have friends going to Worlds? Am I remembering wrong?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
I had told them about it, but no one has confirmed yet.
All right, I'm trying to see because there's a few. Ooh, I think I'm pretty far behind. Okay.
Oh, no.
So I think Jen said it's
Jen
29
section,
days
Jen
ago.
Section.
She's still been leaving comments, so which is good. The whale sharks are pretty sick. From 29 days ago. It's right after, where we had the aquarium. This is the aquarium episode. They said, leave Kaz alone. She speaks the truth. Paradox Pokemon are not Evos or regional forms. They are separate Pokemon. I mean, until we have that confirmed in Pokemon Go, I do tend to agree with that. I do think that's probably the case. And it also says, it was so much fun being at the tournament. So cool to meet you all, especially Kaz introing me as Jen. Yeah. And then,
Podbean Jen. I always introduced her as Podbean Jen.
Jen, like, Podbean Jen is like, why did it suppress the name of the app? Because she had to write Podbean with a space between every letter.
Yeah.
Censored
it.
My
gosh.
I don't know why.
Apparently, Podbean is like really weird about comments, and it censors like the most random stuff.
Yeah, dude, YouTube is like a wild, wild west these days. There's some weird YouTube ads. Jen also says, my other favorite part about Atlanta tournament was yelling at the VG players and staff blocking our screen during winners finals.
Oh yeah, Jen was an absolute hero.
Yeah, what she says.
Jen was an absolute hero because we were all the Go players were like sitting in.
That's so bad.
Because the VG players had just finished, they had just ran up. So like the winner and second place finished, and everybody was coming off stage. Their friends were coming up. All the like referees and officials were there, and like literally the only place that they could come off the screen was like in front of the Go screen, like that was projecting the Go battles. So like at first we were kind of like,
we'll give them a
surely they'll realize that like we're watching, but they just like, they stood there, and even though like everybody's sitting there staring at them, they just had no awareness. And Jen literally like just yells like absolute top of her voice, like, get out of the way. like she had no fear, and I was like, I love you so much.
All right, Jen.
Wow. Okay, well, shout out Jen. Well, hopefully they were receptive, right? There wasn't like a brawl that broke out afterwards.
Right? No, they were just kind of like, it's like they suddenly realized like, we are in front of the screen. It's like,
it's okay. I get it. Some people get called in the moment, especially celebrating stuff. So it's,
no. Like they were just in their moment, and they just had no awareness of what was going on around them, or the fact that us Go players were still watching.
Yeah. It's funny because when I met Jen too, I was expecting her to have like a flower in her ear, just like her photo on Podbean. So it threw me off a bit when I didn't see it. But Jen also says slightly more inclined towards dogs. America is so dog inclined, mostly because the dog owners are louder.
It's true. They're more vocal.
They did find that people that live in cities are more likely to have dogs. This is actually very interesting research. Oh, sorry, cats. They found that people that are more, it's not a political spectrum. I'm not really saying one way or another is better, but on the more people that tend to be more liberal or left wing tend to have cats and live in cities. And then people that are more conservative and right wing tend to have dogs and live outside the cities. But I think it's actually, I don't think it's related to actually dog or cats. It's more so that because it's easier to have a cat in the city and easier to have a dog in the rural.
I feel like that's not.
But there's a lot of correlation here.
I think
there's causation.
I think it's more because like, in the city you have to make like a lot of effort to like actually take care of a dog well, because most of them do like they need to get outside, they need to run around, like they need to have a lot more stimulation. Like with Mittens, I can just like throw some stuff on the floor, like literal trash, and he'll be like, "That's mine," and he's fine with that.
Yeah. My cats are very fine with just staying indoors and just vomiting all over their hairballs everywhere.
He has plenty of windows that we have little things on, so he can like go take a look outside if he wants to.
My cats have a moat. They've been
classic. Yeah. So like, it's much easier to have a dog, like if you're somewhere with more space.
Yeah. 100%. All right, and then Jen's last comment is, translate this obscure bird and or Pokemon reference.
I love her.
Pretty great. Well, I'm glad we're caught up on the Jen stuff. That was actually more recently, 22 hours ago she left that comment. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for tuning in, and stay tuned to my YouTube channel and probably Steve's YouTube channel for Go Battle Week content. You got our suspense.
Caleb just had to get his in
what
first.
Am I really
like, this is
I really committed to this in Portland? That's kind of crazy. I'm rooming with Ramberto as well. Ramberto's going to be like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got a video to make.
What if you hit day 2? Like, what?
Yeah.
I guess I'm GBLing. I guess I'm GBLing.
He's gonna be on stage, on stream, just doing GBL battles instead. Dude, like, no, you can have it. I don't even.
Imagine if I win the whole thing and they're like, oh, "What are your plans after this?" I'm like, "I got 100 battles to do. What you mean? I got no other plans." Yeah,
that's the content right there.
Like, what's going on here? I got some battles to do. They announced a caster for this one. Did you all see this list?
I mean, I saw the leak on the broadcast page that you can check.
The broadcast page, yeah. It's officially announced, right? I mean, obviously I knew this because it's... So the casters, so some of them obviously familiar faces like Speediest Chief, Alpha Phoebe, Rise to Occasion, right? He's newer on the caster group, but, he's there as well. And then we got House Stark 93 making his broadcast debut, so that's gonna be interesting. His picture on the thing is actually his player picture with his arms crossed because obviously he hasn't casted yet. But
that's hilarious.
But that'll be interesting. I'm very curious to see how that goes. And he's casted a lot of like grassroots stuff in the past, so I'm curious to see how he does it. I'm a little concerned for him though, from a world's qualification standpoint, though, because
where's he at?
He's not
close.
Not yet.
He's not.
Oh, really?
He's not. Yeah, he's going to need to do really well at NAIC if he goes. I don't know. Maybe he's not trying to push for world qualification, but he's like one of those people that have always been really good at the game and has made worlds for the past 2 years, right? So
has he just not played much?
He hasn't played a lot, but he also didn't do great. I feel kind of bad. Okay, so I don't think I shared this on the broadcast on the podcast. So this season Baltimore he got 13th, Toronto he got 49th, and then Atlanta he went 65th. So not the best year for him, but I mean, there is still NAIC, but he's going to need a really strong NAIC performance. So he went 2-2 in Toronto, and then he essentially went 2-2 in Atlanta, but there was just more people, so that's why it's 65th. But I just remember I feel kind of bad because in Toronto, after the first day, I was talking to him and like Septile Ice and some people. I was like, "Oh, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, man," he's like, "This is my worst tournament I've ever played in. I went 2-2," and I, me, I was like, "No, Stark, this is the worst tournament you played in so far." I mean, he laughed about it, right? Like, we're friends. Like, we're joking, right? Like, I want him to do well, right? I want him to qualify and stuff like that. So, but I was like, I gotta make a joke out of this, because he's not feeling great, right? He at least laughed about it, and hopefully thought it was funny and wasn't just pity laughing.
He was actually in Atlanta. He was in the same group as me. If Polly had not kicked me out, then I would have had to face him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Polly's team was very weak to Talonflame. He had a Talonflame on his team. So, but when I saw his results in Atlanta, I was like, oh, I hope he's not like thinking about what I said in Toronto about how was his worst tournament so far. I mean, technically Atlanta, he had the same type of result, but just placement's lower because there's more people. Wait, how is that possible? Oh, because he went 2-2. Is it because he went to the losers earlier? So technically his placement is actually worse. Yeah, because he went to losers first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's currently 96th on the leaderboard in the US.
So he just needs a good NAIC run.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like awesome. It actually just needs to be reasonable, and he could still qualify.
He could do it. I mean, because last year he got he got 9th last year.
Yeah,
a 9th place finish this year will be enough, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, obviously not for sure, but like for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we wish him the best of luck on his casting debut, and I'll if I run into him, I might just check up on him to see how he's doing and stuff, and what his plans are, or maybe he's just taking the year off, and that's fine too. Because I think Auburn was in a similar boat. He's like not played well this season. He's like, dude, it's okay if I just don't qualify this year. Like he's just not been like GBLing a lot.
Honestly, I mean, there were less tournaments this year, so a lot of people, like a lot of names that we expect, I think, have generally not been going to as many.
Auburn in a worse boat. He's only played one tournament. It was Atlanta. He went 2-2 or he went 3-2, but he also got 65th. He tied with Stark. So
a better win in AIC, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he lost to someone called Jigglypuff. Who is this?
Oh, that's my friend Justin.
Oh.
Wow. Or no, Jigglypuff is Zach. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they're locals here. He's very good.
Yeah. He 2-0 at Auburn. So he lost to Septile Ice and Trees Girl. Definitely both really good players too. So yeah, Auburn had it tough, and then Auburn just lost to I think Doombug as well afterwards. So tough draw. Anyway. Are you gonna do it, Steve? Are we gonna do the go about with content?
We'll
for
see,
the content.
We'll see.
For the content.
Come on. If I could do it at Portland, you can do it.
All right. We'll see.
I got some stuff to send Kaz after this podcast recording, so we will wrap it up here. But some thumbnails might need to be made, so,
we'll 6 or even 7.
Oh man, this is going to be a long week for me.
You got a lot of recording to do, champion.
You got a lot of videos
starting at midnight tonight.
So if you're watching this.
Yeah,
might already have one up. We'll see.
Yeah, I feel bad for my significant other. I'm gonna be like, hey, I gotta ignore you this week. She'll understand. Anyway, hope you all have a great one, and we'll catch you all next week after Go Battle Weekend. Hopefully, we all survive the madness together, and whatever elo they want to hit.
Cliff is thinking mostly of himself.
I was like, I don't even care if I climb or not. I'm just gonna post 100 battles. What speed do I do it on? 2 times speed?
Oh, at least. It's almost a 2.5.
I usually do 2 times speed. I might do 2. Honestly, if I go to like 215%, that'll probably save me like half an hour. That small adjustment alone. I'll have to think on it.
Yeah.
That's going to be nuts. Okay.
That's for next time.
Yeah. Well, I'll have a lot of reps, I guess, going to Portland.
Sure.
Anyway, hope you have a great one, and we'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace out.